And
Miss Owen?
yes,
How's it going?
good. How are you?
Good. Luke Bollant with ADP.
Oh, nice to meet you, Luke.
Yeah, it's nice to
Before
finally
you
meet
sit
you.
down, would you mind just closing
Yeah,
that
no
door
problem.
for me? Thank you. And then please make yourself comfortable.
So, I actually had a chance to stop by your North Point Mall location the other day. And,
Oh, how did you go to the store?
Yeah, I had gelato for my very first time, actually.
Oh, really? Did you enjoy it?
I did. Yeah, it's got a lot more flavor than
You'd
traditional
expect.
ice cream.
Yeah. It's really you almost can't compare them. There's so
Yeah.
much difference. So you're
Um,
absolutely right.
Yeah, I actually read that it has a third of the fat content too. So
Yeah, I
guess I
know.
was being
I
healthy
know.
and I was enjoying it as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's absolutely, and it's no comparison to sorbet. Like a sherbet either.
No,
or
it's
sorbet.
really a different
Yeah,
taste.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Before we get things started, here's my card. I believe when we spoke on the phone last time, I was just in the office. So there, now you have my
Okay, that
cell
sounds
phone,
great.
and
I
feel
appreciate
free
it.
after today if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to call at
Oh,
all.
that's great. Thanks very much.
Well, to start things off, I'd like to just tell you a little bit about ADP. We
Okay.
are a human resources outsourcing company. Um, Companies hire us on, and they'll get our obviously our services,
Uh-huh.
and we have lots of software. We will come in, help you activate this software, teach your. We have a training course, and we'll run all your employees through this, and they'll learn how to use our product and use our
Oh, well,
stuff,
that's
and
great.
we'll be with your other step of the way. We actually also have a call service, and they're allowed. You can call anytime you have a question, anytime, and we'll be right there to help you out. And
Oh, well, that's good to know. Yeah, it's
Yep.
always, I'm really very much oriented towards the operations, and
Okay.
I like being in front of the customer. I like the whole issue of like the facilities planning and making sure the product is really good. But I have to tell you the truth, I'm just not much for the paperwork behind the scenes.
Yeah,
so,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Um, could I ask you what you are currently using for payroll?
We're actually using ClickTime, which is
Okay.
for our time and attendance, and then that integrates with QuickBooks. And so, actually, my sister Dorothy handles most of that. She's HR and marketing.
Okay, and is this the time in attendance? Is this done through online? Do they have a login?
Yeah, they have a login online. It's really quite easy. You can kind of log in from anywhere. That's the good news. The bad news is you can log in from anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yep. It's actually just come to my attention that we had an issue where somebody actually did do that. They were running late and they just called and had their friend log
Okay.
in. So I had not been aware of that being an issue, but
Okay.
I guess it could be.
That is definitely something we can work with you. We do have a section of our time and attendance login that allows us to use a biometric fingerprint. So they go on. It's just like that. It's like online, but it's a touch screen and you use your
Oh,
fingerprint
really?
to
Kind of
log
like
in
some of
and
those
stuff.
sci-fi movies then?
Yeah, I guess kind of like some I'm talking about. Yeah. So they just use their fingerprint to log in.
Retina
So
scanning and that sort of thing.
would you? How do you know? You said there was an actual particular incident where this came up.
Right.
Would you have any idea how often this could be happening?
No,
or-
I don't. But since it's happened once, it has caused me concern now. I have to think. We're gonna have to think about that as we go
Okay.
forward. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make a note of that. And could you now this QuickTime that you guys are using? Are you then doing direct deposits or are you doing checks?
Right.
Or?
The ClickTime actually it's a software, so it connects with our ClickTime connects with our QuickBooks,
Okay.
and then we do direct deposit. Of course, there's still a lot of manual, reconciliation and that sort of thing. As I said, Dorothy mostly handles that, and then of course we have to make sure there's enough money in the accounts, to make sure we cover payroll. So there's still, several steps beyond just that sort of integration.
Okay. And does this QuickTime is this related to your accounts? Does this have any databases that show what your accounts are at and everything?
No,
It
that's
doesn't,
just
okay.
strictly a time and attendance software.
Okay. And does this have a hiring section at all, or is this just a?
No, it's just strictly the attendance and the payroll. So no, nothing to do with hiring or any of that. We just recently hired somebody. I know how much is involved in that. There's a lot of issues.
Yeah,
with
I understand you guys
resumes
are.
and background, etc.
Okay, I understand you guys are really family-based companies.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
So I started. It was my idea, but I brought my brother and sister in. As I mentioned, my sister Dorothy does the HR and marketing. My brother is really operations oriented because we actually make the product, the gelato
Okay.
product ourselves. And for the first time at that senior executive level, we've just hired our first non-family member.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's come on board to.
And how did that process go?
Well, it took a long, long, long time.
Okay.
I have to tell you the truth. I was shocked at how much time it took.
Yeah,
So
it can be quite the process.
Right.
Just, you want to make sure you're getting the right people working
right,
for you.
right, exactly. So, just getting doing the recruiting, getting the resumes, and I really want to hold my company to a very high standard in terms of the product
Definitely.
and the customer satisfaction. So I wanted to make sure the employees are the same. So it just really it just soaked up an awful lot of my time.
How did you do these background checks and on
Well,
hiring your first?
I don't know how well we did it, but there is some stuff available on almost Google and check people's LinkedIn profiles and that sort of stuff, but nothing really official. Check their references. Of course, the problem with references, somebody's if somebody lists them as a reference, they're going to be a positive reference.
Definitely. So could you maybe just walk me through that? Your current. How many locations do you currently have?
We have 3. We have 3 different locations, and I have a store manager at each location, and I actually have a 4th store manager that I use as a floater. There's my, our senior executive, which is my family, and then plus Frank we just hired, which I just mentioned. We have 3 people involved in the production facility, and then we actually have 70 part-time employees.
70 part-time employees?
60, I guess it is. 60 part-time employees at the 3 different stores.
Okay, and these employees wouldn't be tipped at all, would they ever?
They might be. How it's sort of like a Starbucks. What's the other one here around this area with the moose? Caribou.
Caribou.
Yeah, Caribou coffee sort of place. Like sometimes people tip, sometimes they have a tip jar, so they could be.
So does this ever have to necessarily come out of their thing, or is it just added on?
Added on in terms of the tips are added on in terms
do they have to report their tips?
They're supposed to, whether they do or not.
And is that through the click time as well, or does that have a?
No, that's just strictly, that would be something separate, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay, well, what I have here, I guess, is you said that Dorothy, your sister, is spending a lot of time on payroll.
Right.
And with ADP, we try to be as efficient as possible. We have a lot of different plans they can set up, and we customize these different plans to what works best for this company. You also said that you're worried about possibly some employees punching in for their friends.
Right,
we call this buddy punching at ADP.
Oh, how interesting! Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Buddy punching. Yeah, that's.
This is buddy. This is the touchscreen thing I was talking about. So it's a biometric fingerprint, like I said before.
Right.
And it can prevent buddy punching. We'd obviously have to see how big of a problem it is. You said that you just realized it only happened once, but you're not.
Well, yeah, but if it happened once, you know how things are. They'll keep on going.
Yeah.
How interesting.
And so we can definitely see how serious of a problem that is, and if that's something you want to try, we can maybe try that in one store and see how it works.
That's an interesting idea.
You could still use the login maybe at other locations, or maybe if some locations are more prone to possibly some employees or younger employees maybe are doing that, or more employees that could be possible.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and part-time employees. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a really unique solution to some of these issues, but however, I have to say, is it going to be really expensive?
The touchscreen is our most expensive one. So I guess, like I said, we would recommend that you implement it maybe at one store.
Right.
And then see how it works, see if it's maybe saving you money.
Okay.
Because if it is a major problem and you're getting an employee that's maybe not even coming into work and that's 8 hours there,
that's
whatever,
or
how significant of a problem it is.
Exactly, it's all about cost.
So you got to compensate for how significant of a problem you're actually having.
Right.
And then you also said that you are continuing your franchising now, correct?
Exactly, huh?
And you're gonna be hiring outside of the company probably more. And you did this once with, you said Frank, right?
Yes, we just hired the franchise relations management.
Okay, and I have another thing for you here. This is we do have employee selection, background, and screening services as well.
Oh, really?
And there's just a few of the services we provide with our screening services.
Oh, how interesting. And so you can get into all this information.
Yep, so you log into your ADP software, and you typed in a person, and you got all that, and then
So this leads me to think, how secure is your system? This looks like a lot of really, really private.
It is
confidential
100% secure. It's actually not stored anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of the term the cloud.
Yeah,
So
I don't quite grasp it, but then again, I don't know how airplanes fly either. So.
it's a difficult concept to grasp,
Right.
but nothing is stored or saved.
Right.
Essentially, it's not findable.
Right.
It's not traceable
It's
or findable.
somewhere in the
technically.
netherworld.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that we definitely have a lot we could help you out with here as far as the time and attendance, and definitely with the background screening.
Right.
And also with these possible tax laws as far as employees.
Oh well, that's always a concern.
Employees.
Right.
Employees. What am I trying to say? Like logging in and.
And maybe potentially fraudulent activity in regards to that. And actually one of our issues, of course, is the deadlines. There's just so many different deadlines between the state and the federal. That's sometimes that keeps me up at night, I have to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
so.
there's a lot of different laws and regulations,
Right.
and ADP, obviously, if there ever was a mistake for that, we would cover the expense, and there would never be any
really?
liability
Well,
for you.
that would be a headache that I wouldn't have to deal with.
So you
know,
said
it all sounds really very interesting. I have to tell you the truth, though. I would want to chat with Dorothy, since she's
Definitely.
really involved in HR specifically.
that would be great. I would actually love to speak to Dorothy as well. Is there any way we can possibly maybe set up a meeting next Tuesday around maybe 3:00 and have Dorothy sit down, and I could, now that I have more information about you and what you do, I can bring back more of an in-depth analysis and tell you what we could do for you more.
That sounds interesting. Yeah, I think I would like to look at more of the details. So I'm sure that would work.
Yeah,
for
and
us.
like you said, Dorothy's more the HR
Yeah,
services.
she's
so
really a lot more savvy.
maybe she'd
about
have
these
even
things.
some more questions for me.
Exactly.
Maybe we can even find some more problems that we could maybe benefit.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. All right,
Awesome.
so we'll
well,
plan
we'll
it.
say next Tuesday at 3:00.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.